The market sells off into the weekend. Is it time to get bearish? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so in last week's video, we talked about a few different options, including an ending diagonal higher to give us a topping formation. But with the sell-off into the close on Friday, the bulls are flirting with some key support levels. I'll get into that in just 1 second. But first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP 500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, so the bulls did try to push it higher on Friday, then got sold into very hard into the close, and now they are flirting with support. So let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the daily SPX chart, and I did want to start with the big picture at the beginning of the week. I've been doing that lately so you guys can understand where we are in the overall count, and then I will drill down into the smaller stuff. But nothing's really changed too much on the big picture. We are still counting this as an A, B, C to the downside for a leg A. Okay, and then we'd be looking at this as an A, B, C to the upside for a wave B. Okay, and we would expect it to be topping somewhere between where we are right now up to about the 45.15 region. Okay, if it does extend above this blue box, it does become problematic. But one thing to keep in mind about this B wave, this is a diagonal to the downside. The C wave is especially a diagonal. So you have A, B, and then the C wave created a diagonal to the downside. And when diagonals end, you often see pretty strong moves back up to the starting point, which is about where we are right now. So this top of this B wave is the starting point of this diagonal. And so we've moved up into that area. So it's not terribly uncommon that we come back up here. In fact, that's how diagonals tend to end, is with a strong move in the opposite direction. So once we do top in this region, or assuming we do top in this region, we would look for this C wave down toward the 3228 to 3000 area. Now I have moved this target up, and that's not by me moving it up. It's just how Elliott Wave works. The 1.0 extension naturally moves up the higher this B wave goes. So when we made our projections 9 months ago, we projected up to this 4400 area and then down into the 3000 to 2500 area. And so that target does move up just based on the fact that this went a little higher than we thought. And then we come back down in this C wave to hit these numbers. So those are the targets for the C wave currently, and the higher they go, the more this moves up, and if they break over this blue box, then we might be in the alternate count. So what is that alternate count? So the bullish count to the upside, and I don't like this count. I've said this many, many times, and the reason is there's a lot of overlap right here. That's a clear three-wave structure. This is not not an impulsive move up for one, so it does give me a lot of pause in how we look at this, but this would be wave 1 up, wave 2 down, 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and then we'd be in 3 of 3 heading higher. And if they break out over this blue box, that would be the case. Now, even in that case, they would target about the 4590 area. And from there, they need to come back and test the pivot. Well, the pivot's at 4258, the 764, so we would expect them to come back to about that point and pull back toward the bottom of this blue box. Now, from there, if they can hold the pivot, then we would look for the next leg up toward new all-time highs, one more pullback, and then a final push up into the 5200 region to complete that bullish count. So that would be the alternate path, but they got to break out over this blue box toward the 4593 SPX area. Then they would need to come back and hold the pivot, okay, which again was at the 4250 area, and then they'd be pushing up in 3, 4, and 5, so 5 of 3, wave 4, and then wave 5, which ultimately should land in about the 5200 area. So that's what we look at as an alternate, and as our main count is still the A, B, C to the downside. So let's drill down and look at where we're at exactly. Okay, so here we are on the 1 hour SPX chart, and the move off the high to the June low, okay, gave us what we would call either a wave A or a wave 4. From here, the move up is clearly corrective, and it did make a slightly higher high. This could be all of wave 5 right here. Could be a wave B because it's a pretty clear 3-wave movement. And then they came back into wave 1 territory. So how we would view this is either wave 5 was short, and we got a short little ending diagonal wave 5, or wave 5 is in an A, B, C to the downside. Okay, so this would be the A wave up, B wave down, and then you'd look for the C wave up toward that 4500 area to complete that wave 5, because remember, diagonals would end in a 3-wave move, so it would be A, B, C, okay? That would be the wave 5 option for the diagonal. Or wave 5 ended here, and we have a potential 1-2 setup where we'd look for wave 3 down toward the 43.22 area, wave 4, and then wave 5 ultimately down to about 4,300, 42.95. And from there, we would have to see what happens, because the other option here is that this was an ABC, kind of an expanded ABC for wave 4, and then we'd get wave 5 up. But the other option is wave 5 ended here, and this would be wave 1 down. Then you'd get a corrective bounce up for 2. Then you get 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and a bigger breakdown to the low side. So this would be the start to the C wave should this pattern play out, where they come down to about 4,300, give us a corrective bounce, and then break that low at 4,300. That's what we would look for there. The other option, again, is that this is an expanded flat ABC. We would still see it down to about the same area. The difference is we would get a wave 5 higher up into the 4,500 plus region to complete this move up. So that's what we'd be looking at for those potentials. And then, of course, the ending diagonal can still play out, but they are flirting with major support. If we look at the support on the chart here, I know I'm throwing a lot at you guys, but we're still in a topping pattern. And again, until the microstructures build upon themselves, we have a couple of options. So what we would look at here again is this level of support here, this low from last Thursday, the 6th, is a pretty big level of support for the bulls. If it gets broken, then we start looking at the potential that this is a deeper ABC, okay, and then we'd look higher in a C wave to complete this diagonal, or we'd be looking at a bigger breakdown. So once they break this support, then all eyes will come down to this June low. Should they be able to break through that June low, then obviously we're either in this bigger ABC for 4 or a wave 1 down, and then we'd be looking for a 2 down and then, or 2 up and then 3 down from there. So overall, same options as last Friday, but with this push higher here and then a pullback, the bulls are flirting with this support here. And if that breaks, all eyes again on the June lows. Over on the NASDAQ, you'll be shocked to find out we have similar counts on the NASDAQ. We are counting this as an A wave down. The B wave box, as you can see in blue here, all the way up to about the 16,000 level. They have been in this box grinding sideways here for a little while. And what we would expect is a turn down. They're at heavy resistance here on both sides. You got a resistance level here, resistance level here, resistance level here and here. So a lot of resistance they're heading into here. We have seen them turn down, and they are also flirting with this support down here. When we drill in, you'll see that. But ultimately what we're looking for is this being a conclusion of the B wave, and then we would look for the C wave down. And the C wave down target on the NASDAQ, and I didn't put it on here because I wanted to show you how we did it. You go from the top to the bottom of the move, and then you go back to the top of the next move. So roughly right now, that's right here. And so that puts us in the 9,125 region for the C wave down on the NASDAQ. So that's what we would look for on the NASDAQ to the downside as our primary count. Now to the upside, we would be counting this as 1, 2, 1, 2, and then an extended wave 3, and then a 4. You'd look for a 4 or 5 here, and the 4 should pull back toward that 150 area or so, and then the wave 5 higher. And 3 would actually point us toward the all-time highs. This would be the top of wave 3 in general. Okay, then you'd look for one more wave 4 pullback, and then wave 5 to new all-time highs. So that's what you'd look for on the NASDAQ. For the bullish count, again, I think this is a clear 3-wave move up. It's very ugly and overlapping. I think that this is a clear 3-wave move, and then you start to get the rest of the move up. So the NASDAQ, again, not impulsive to the upside in my opinion. I do expect them to hold in this blue box and turn to the downside as the primary count. But again, if they push up over that, then we are looking at a potential move to new all-time highs. Now let's drill in and take a look at the NASDAQ. Okay, so the NASDAQ has a little bit of a cleaner count and setup. We can count this as either a wave 1 or a wave A down. And then we've got either a wave B or a wave 2 up. And then what we would look for is a wave C to the downside toward this 14,800 level as a potential ABC. That's one way of looking at it. The other way to look at this is a potential wave 1 down, wave 2 up as it is corrective looking, wave 1 of 3 down, wave 2 of 3 up, then you'd look for a breakdown to the downside past this 1.0 to the 14,650 level, and that would be a pretty strong indication that we've started a bigger wave 1 of C down. From there, you'd look for a back test of the pivot, and then a move down towards 14,400, and then another bounce, and then another move down from there. So this break of 15,046 is big because that's the bottom of the pivot, and also would be about the 1.0 for this ABC like this, and then up in an ending diagonal to complete this move at about 15,600. So the top of the pivot here at 15,046 would be a big level for the bears to break, and if they can break that and push below 14,955, okay, then we're through the pivot, and all eyes go down to 14,807 as a potential ABC. If they can break through that, then it starts to look a lot more like the move down is going to be a bigger move, and that the top could be in at that point. So those would be the potential counts on the NASDAQ. So again, you could see this as an A, B, C down, and then you'd look for a C wave up, which would be 5 waves up toward the 15.6 region. But if they can break through 15,046, that's a strong indication and of at least the C wave, and through 14,955, and it's very likely we come down and break the June lows and potentially even have a bigger move down on our hands. So still kind of have the same potentials in place, but we are getting closer to having an answer, especially if they start to break this support and this support level. Guys, if you love the information I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link. It will take you right over to the website. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible monthly plans, as well as our Elliott Wave for Beginners course. Now, this course is for people who have ever wanted to learn about Elliott Wave or think they know Elliott Wave or just can't quite figure it out. It's outstanding for those people. It's 25 videos. I go over the introduction and how to understand Elliott Wave from a mindset perspective, how to set up your chart with the right tools to know where the levels are and where we're turning, as well as the Elliott Wave for Beginners course itself, where I go through every single wave, all of the targets, how to identify them, and how to know when they fail. This is incredibly valuable to trading. You can see from the testimonials on the screen that it's helping people immensely already. So if you don't want to become a monthly member, you can just buy the course and learn Elliott Wave. However, if you do want to become a monthly member, it is included in both memberships. In our first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, a midday video where I go over exactly where we are in the counts and what to expect, as well as the trading material you just saw. We trade the SPY and the QQQ and we swing trade, which means our trades can last anywhere from a few days to a few months, so we don't trade quite as often as a day trading room does. However, if you are interested in day trading as well as individual stocks, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as day trading, individual stocks, and PT's reduced risk binary method that just crushes the market. He gets you in at a cheap price and gets you big multiples on your money, and it's how he structures his trades that's so unique. It's something you have to see to understand, and that's another reason we give you that 7-day free trial. We also just started a challenge account where we put $4,000 into an account trading mini ES futures, averaging 3 to 4% gains per week, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we would love to have you in these rooms so we can all make money together. Okay, key takeaways for today. On the SPX, we still have the same 3 possibilities. We have the ending diagonal to the 4,500 SPX region. We have the move down in an ABC toward 4,300. Or we have the potential for the wave 1 down towards 4,300, 4,250, and then a 2 up and then on down from there. Over on the NASDAQ, same type of setup. We do have several potentials still until they start breaking some support, which they're very close to doing. We do have the ABC down and then up for the diagonal, the bigger ABC towards 14,807, or the potential for a wave 1 where they break through the 1.0 to the 14,659 level. Should that happen, that's a strong indication we're in a bigger move down. Guys, that is the market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.